Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and it has been on my bucket list to visit for a very long time, and I'm super excited to be here. So I'm staying up in the KLCC area around the Suria Mall, but right now I'm down at the pavilion on my way to Bukit Bintang, which is where I'm gonna spend my first full day here. I flew in yesterday and I was extremely jet lagged. Took me over 30 hours to get here. So I basically hung around the hotel and went to that beautiful Suria Mall for dinner and just kind of lounged about. So I'm excited to get into Kuala Lumpur, so we'll get at it. All right, so our first stop of the day here is Mon Chinese Roti, right in the heart of the food and entertainment district. And it's made by Chinese Muslims. You can go with a beef or a chicken. They're 550 ringgit a piece and made fresh by hand right on site. This is one of the top spots that you gotta visit if you're here in Kuala Lumpur. So we're gonna tuck into these. They look absolutely phenomenal. Freshly made just minutes ago. We showed up at 10 to 10 and there was already a line starting to form. So I heard you can wait up to 30 or 45 minutes. So get here early if you don't want to wait. All right, so I just broke it open to let some of the steam out. These are super hot. Inside, this one is just beef and onions. I'm gonna give it a little try. So hot, I should probably wait a few minutes, but I just can't resist it. That is fire. It's like the most savory, crispy pastry ever. And it's like seasoned with maybe Chinese 5-spice. Absolutely phenomenal. You must come and get these. And two of them cost you 11 bucks or 11 ringgit. Super good deal. So I've tried the chicken one now too. I think both are exceptional. The beef is probably my favorite. And one more thing, these have been around for 1,200 years. So if you don't stop here and get these while you're in Kuala Lumpur, you are definitely missing out. All right, so I'm currently just passing through the Jalan Alor street market, which is a night market. It's only about 10:30 in the morning, so we'll definitely be coming back at night to check it out. We're just passing through. The other stuff we're gonna get up to while we're here in Kuala Lumpur, we're gonna check out the Batu Caves. Of course, you can't miss that. We're gonna go to the Botanical Gardens. We're gonna try to get out to that forest park, which is just outside the city, and a whole bunch more in and around KLCC and the area that we're in now. All right, so we just took a trip through Don Donki here at Lot 10 in Kuala Lumpur, and it's a Japanese superstore. They literally sell everything in there, from like cosmetics down to Wagyu beef, everything for cooking, fruit, all kinds of fish, and then down on the bottom floor it's all kinds of confectionery stuff. They have about every flavor of Kit Kat you can imagine in there, and so much more. It's literally 3 floors. Apparently the one in Tokyo is 11 floors. So we probably spent a good 45 minutes walking through, and we only bought a couple things because obviously we're on vacation, we can't take a lot home. I'll show you what I did get though. All right, so first up, I did get some Kit Kat here. It's a sugar butter tree Kit Kat. I'm gonna try that back at the room. Never heard of that before. I also got a lemon jelly, which Japan is famous for their like jelly kind of desserts or treats. They have just about every fruit flavor under the sun. I went with a lemon, and I'm gonna try that right away. I also got a Pocari Sweat, which is like kind of the Japanese version of Gatorade, give or take, or like an Aquarius, which one of my favorite drinks from Spain was Aquarius, and they also sell it in Japan. So that should be delicious also. Anyway, I'll try this jelly, and the Pocari Sweat is absolutely delicious. If you like kind of not super sweet hydration drinks, fire. It's not like Gatorade at all. It's so much better. All right, so after that intense shopping time at Don Donki, we went over to the Pavilion Mall and grabbed a little lunch at the barn, which was actually really good. Got a couple chicken dishes and some marinated pork belly. And then we took the Sky Bridge and the tunnel all the way back to KLCC, which is where we're at now. And now it's time for a little siesta. Yeah, so if you're looking for a convenient way to get over from KLCC to the entertainment district there, Bukit Bintang, Definitely take the pedway, the sky bridge, and the underground pedestrian tunnel. It's so much easier, I think, than taking the monorail, because you have to transfer to a second line, and there's about 15 minutes of walking anyways. You might as well just walk the whole thing, really. Very, very easy to do, and takes about 30 minutes in total. All right, so we're over at KLCC Park, just behind the Suria Mall, and we're just waiting for the evening light show in the pond. Should be fantastic. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It looks a bit gray in the sky. But before we came up here, I stopped at the Japanese grocery store. It's Isetan, I believe. Anyway, I'll drop the name below. They have stuff from all over Japan and everywhere, really. It's an amazing store. Reminds me of El Corte Inglés in Spain, if you've ever been to that. Amazing store. Anyways, I seen the Japanese strawberries when I was in there, and I had to get them. They had the red ones and the pink ones. They're a bit pricey, but if you tried to get them pretty much anywhere else in the world, they're even more expensive. So for both packs, the pink and the red, it came to, I think, 199 ringgit, which is about $60–70 Canadian. Anyways, I'm gonna give them a try and see how they are, and I'll let you know. They look pretty. I've never seen a strawberry like these before. I have seen them on YouTube. If you watch Jet Bentley, and Susor is his father, the famous chef, they try fruits from Japan all the time, these premium fruits, and I've always wanted to try them. So I'm gonna get into them now and give them a go. All right, so we're gonna start with the red one first. Nice and plump, juicy, and a deep, deep, deep red. I'm assuming they're gonna be super sweet. Let's give them a go. Oh my, wow. If you've ever had Florida strawberries before, these are like Florida strawberries on steroids. These are absolutely amazing. Super juicy, almost tastes like strawberry jam. That actually does it a disservice. Cancel that. I don't know how to describe it, but it's the most strawberry flavor I've ever had. These are absolutely amazing, and the juice coming out of it, it's like running down my hand. All right, next up is what they call the premium light pink strawberry. Actually, when I flew through the Tokyo airport, they had the pure white ones. Those were super good too, very sweet. But this is supposed to be the cream of the crop, the light pink premium strawberry, so we'll give this a go. Wow, that's really, it's super juicy. Again, I've never seen strawberries so juicy in my life. It almost has like a strawberry lemonade flavor. I think I prefer just the Japanese red ones, the plain old red, to these, although these are supposed to be the premium one. They are very good and very juicy, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the red ones. But these taste like almost like strawberry lemonade, which is weird but delicious in their own right, but definitely prefer the original. All right, so just a few minutes out from the light show. In behind me, you can see the Petronas towers. They're all lit up now. It's not completely pitch black. We're only a couple minutes out from the light show, so I'll leave a few clips, and I guess that will be it for tonight. Tomorrow, we'll see you first thing at the Batu Caves. All right, good morning. So as promised, we are at the Batu Caves. We're gonna head up all these steps and go check out the Hindu temples. There's 272 steps behind us, and there's multiple ways to get out here. You could take a bus and transfer and take multiple bus lines. Of course, you could book a tour. We opted just to grab a taxi, and we're paying him for the return. So he's gonna hang out here and wait for us and then drive us back. Much easier. We just picked it up at the Suria Mall in KLCC, and I think it's gonna run me 170 ringgit. So not too bad, about $60 Canadian, give or take. So that's a pretty fair deal for a ride out here and back, and he's gonna wait. Anyways, let's go check out these caves. All right, so going up the steps is not actually that bad. We're almost at the top. The thing is, I came nice and early. It's only about 9:30, so it's all in shade. I would not want to do this in the afternoon sun. All right, so I made it up to the top of the stairs. Not too bad, less than 10 minutes up, and I stopped a couple times just to take a few shots. My recommendation would be come in the morning. I came at 9:30, and the steps are all in shade, so much nicer. I imagine full afternoon, that is probably twice as hard, but overall not a bad walk up. The stairs aren't super wide, so keep that in mind. And you also have to pay attention to the dress code. It's pretty simple. You can look it up online, but basically like respectable dress code. Of course, you're going into a religious site. So anyways, we're gonna head into these caves, go check them out. And I think the way down, I'm terrified of heights, so the way down is probably going to be a lot worse for me, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so we're inside the caves now. These are all limestone caves. You can see there's a temple over here. I think we're going to go straight to the back at first though, but pretty epic in here. All right, one last final set of stairs. We're heading up into this. This is actually really cool looking. So I told my wife, I said, once we get up the steps, it should be cooler inside the caves. Boy, was I wrong. It's like a sauna in here. So entrance to the caves are absolutely free. There are some temples here, and if you're gonna enter the temple, you must take your shoes off, and then you can buy stuff like they have a ghee lamp and some coconut. I'm not sure, it must be something to do with like religious offerings or something like that. So you can definitely partake in that. But the caves themselves, absolutely free. And I think all you're gonna need, unless if you're gonna spend a ton of time here, is an hour at the cave. So budget that, and that's more than enough time to go up, down, see all the temples, and get all your shots that you need and stuff like that. Look here, you can see all the monkeys on the rocks. All right, so we made it down to the caves. Overall, pretty interesting to go see. Like I said, you don't really need a ton of time. Give yourself an hour, unless if you're really gonna go through and see it all. Behind me is the famous statue of the Indian deity. It's I'll drop the dimensions below. I think it's one of the biggest in the world, or at least in Asia. And yeah, it's a pretty fun time. It's worse coming down the steps. The railings I found a little low, so being 6'1", I found I had to reach for the railing. Going up, no problem. My wife did have a snake go across the stairs in front of her. It was only small, but freaked her out. Of course, there's lots of monkeys, and fun fact, it is home to the endangered, what is it, the trapdoor spider. The endangered trapdoor spider is here on the cave ground somewhere. I doubt it's on where all the humans are going, but yeah, it's kind of interesting down here. There's a few more temples, of course, souvenir shops and the obligatory tourist stuff, and there's some nice things to get pictures of, some murals and stuff. So we got about 15 minutes left. We're just gonna wander around down here and check the sights out. And here's your obligatory Instagram Batu Caves photo, sponsored by Pepsi. And here's another shot at the stairs. Looks way worse than it is, actually. It's not actually that bad. And of course, once you're down at the bottom, there's all kinds of restaurants, tourist stuff. You can even get your head shaved, ear pierced. Tons of souvenirs, of course. You name it, they got it here. And the sun is starting to come out, and of course, in Kuala Lumpur, it's super humid. I would not want to do this in the afternoon, being a fair-skinned North American, but I would totally come in the morning. It's well worth coming. And I would recommend, if you're probably over the age of 40, like we are, we're like 50, definitely book a cab and have them wait, because I think doing transit is like an hour and 15 minutes each way. I would not want to do that now. We're pretty much completely soaked and we need another shower. So I would highly recommend booking private transport if it's within your budget. It's not that bad, really, about 60 bucks Canadian, like I said earlier. Anyways, I think we'll wrap up the caves. We're gonna head in back to the Suria Mall and KLCC. So before dinner, we decided to take a little stroll around KLCC Park. We're right in the middle of it now. It sits on about 50 acres. There's a giant children's playground, a children's pool, of course the area where they do the light show. There's a running track which is I think almost 2 kilometers long, and there's a giant mosque at one end of it and beautiful views of the Petronas towers. So highly recommend taking a walk around here. It's beautiful. All right, good morning. So today we're down in Chinatown. We're gonna check out the Central Market, Petaling Street, but first we stopped at the Bubble Bee Cafe here, and what an interesting place. Highly recommend it for breakfast. Unfortunately, we had already eaten before we got down here, but definitely if you're in the mood for some breakfast, this place is top notch. They have a lot of cool and healthy offerings for breakfast. We went in and my wife just got like a berry kind of smoothie on ice. I went with a pine and lemon enzyme soda. Sort of had kombucha notes, but way better. Very, very good. I'll drop the address below, but definitely check out the Bubble Bee Cafe here. Just Petaling Street is right there, so you're like 1 minute from it. So definitely come check her out. All right, so we're just going to take a stroll through Petaling Street here. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's basically like Hawker Alley. It's all kinds of different goods for sale, everything from clothes, sunglasses, you name it. They also have stores behind stores. We actually just popped into Q Pocket and got my niece a little birthday gift. And yeah, we're gonna take a stroll through, see what we can find, and then we're definitely gonna try to find some of those food stalls in and around Chinatown. All right, so we're getting out of Petaling Street. Bit overwhelming. There is so much going on. If you're looking for a deal for some knockoff goods, it's the place to be. There's all kinds of restaurants and stuff in behind, but it is so crowded, and it literally just opened like half hour ago. So what we're gonna do is get out of there. We're not really in the market for shopping for anything anyways. We're gonna go down to the Central Market and check out some of the food stalls and stuff like that, which is literally just a couple minutes down the road from that street. All right, so we made it down to Kasturi Walk, which is a famous, I don't know what exactly is here. It's like a lot of drink stands, food stands, but it's right beside the Central Market. So we're gonna go down, check this walk out here, this famous walk behind me, and then the Central Market is literally just right there. So we'll go check that out in a second. So this Kasturi Walk is much more my speed versus Petaling Street. But it's mostly food. There is some souvenir shops in behind and some clothing, not as much as over on like Hawker Alley there. And there is a really nice hotel over here. I think we're gonna go try some durian ice cream, and then we're gonna head into the Central Market. All right, so we got some durian gelato, 95% fat free too, so semi-healthy. Let's give her a go. First, I've never had durian before. I'm gonna get some later in this video though, but for now we'll start with gelato. That is very unique. It tastes like no other fruit. I can see where people say it has like a definite kind of funkiness to it. I actually don't mind it. I heard durian is one of those fruits you either love or you hate. I think if you're in Malaysia, you gotta try this. Yeah, not bad. Probably wouldn't be on regular rotation, but it's definitely something to try at least once. All right, so we're upstairs in the food court at the Central Market, and we stopped at a little beverage stand. They probably have about 50 different drinks. My wife went with a freshly squeezed or pressed watermelon juice. Dynamite. I'm actually trying a fresh local coconut for the first time. It was only 10 ringgit, so about $3 Canadian. We'll give her a go and see how it is. All right, we'll tuck in. Oh, that is dynamite. That is absolutely dynamite. If you've never had this, you have to try this. My first time, it's absolutely phenomenal. So much better than that coconut water in a can that you see at 7-Eleven and everywhere else. This stuff is fire. So one thing to keep in mind if you're in Malaysia is a lot of the toilets, restrooms, washrooms, they're all to pay. So keep a little bit of change on you. It doesn't usually cost much. The one here at the Central Market is only 50 cents, but you definitely need some cash on you. All right, so we stopped for a little lunch here at the Central Market. They have a Michelin guide restaurant, Anak Baba. So we grabbed some turmeric fried chicken, and I grabbed a curry chicken stew, which they make the curry powder right here on site. We're gonna give it a whirl, and should be phenomenal if it's Michelin rated. And then we're gonna go check out some temples, only a couple minutes away. So I think there's 2 temples almost across the street from each other. We're gonna go do that. All right, just getting out of the Central Market. If you're in Kuala Lumpur, this should be a must visit on your list. Absolutely phenomenal place. They literally have everything in there. They have a perfume factory, all kinds of clothes, jewelry, copper stuff. They even have a like a little museum historic site in there, and of course tons of food. If you're looking for a great lunch, go to that Anak Baba where we ate, Michelin rated, absolutely phenomenal, loved lunch. And the hostess is super talkative and full of all kinds of information. She'll talk your ear off and give you all kinds of facts about Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia. And she's traveled the world, and very interesting lady. Anyways, we're gonna head over to those temples right about now. Make sure you check out this Central Market. So we just stopped at the Guan Di Temple, not too far from the Central Market. You're not allowed to take any video or photos inside, but I highly recommend you go visit. It is absolutely amazing. If you've never been into a temple like this before, it's kind of eye-opening, very beautiful. My first experience ever in a temple like this. I will try to find a photo on Google and just drop it in below, because I didn't take any photos or video in there. But this is a must visit, absolutely amazing. The colors, they got stuff burning in there, and all the different ornaments and decorations, mind-blowing. All right guys, so that's about it for Chinatown. We're gonna head her back to KLCC. Absolutely amazing day down here, sensory overload. Food was fantastic, lots to see and do. Highly recommend coming to check her out. All right, it's a brand new day here in Kuala Lumpur, and we're about to go up the Petronas Twin Towers. That's the highest twin towers in the world. We're gonna stop at the Sky Bridge and on the observation deck up on the 86th floor. 2 adult tickets will run you 196 ringgit, or about $65 Canadian. Anyways, we'll get going, and I'll see you up at the first stop on the Sky Bridge. All right, so we made it up to the Sky Bridge. First stop, 41st floor, and we get 10 minutes here. Amazing views, can't beat it. All right, so we took the elevator up to the 83rd floor, switched into another elevator up to the 86th observation deck, and you get about 15 minutes up here. Views are epic. I said they couldn't be beaten on the Sky Bridge. Well, they're definitely beaten up here. All right, so just finished at the Petronas Twin Towers. Highly recommended if you're gonna be here in Kuala Lumpur. It's kind of one of those must-do things. The tour will last you about 45 minutes to an hour. You get to stop at a couple gift shops, of course, but highly worth it, especially for the 196 ringgit. And my tip would be book your tickets in advance. They sell out very fast on the same day. So we came about 2 days ago, booked our tickets for first thing in the morning. You might wanna do that. All right, we just finished at the towers, and we came in for a little coffee and a snack at Bacha Coffee. It's a Moroccan coffee place. We're sitting out on the terrace. They have nice big fans above us. Went with a pot of Myanmar coffee and just a strawberry lime tart. My wife got a blueberry Danish and some kind of iced coffee. I'm not sure what it is. The coffee is super nice here. You get a whole pot, and you get rock sugar, vanilla, and chantilly whipped cream. Very, very, very nice. All right, so the Myanmar coffee is sold out. That's the second time I've been here and it's been sold out. And then I tried to get an Indian coffee, but now I'm going with a China honey dragon coffee. So we'll give that a whirl. So I highly recommend you check out a coffee service here at Bacha Coffee. It is top-notch, lots of selection of beans, and the pastries are amazing. They have locations all over the globe, so if you're near one, definitely stop by. All right, so we're just leaving the Suria Mall, and we went for a little lunch up on the top floor. We went to Tien, which is a fantastic Michelin-rated Chinese restaurant from the province of Fujian. I believe I'm saying that right. If not, I'll drop it below. Absolutely phenomenal meal. We had probably 6 or 7 dishes, all cooked from scratch, of course. Absolutely phenomenal. The drinks we had were, I don't even know. It was like I had some green apple infusion. Not sure on the ingredients. They didn't really list them, but it was dynamite. And my wife had like a lime cucumber soda. Absolutely delicious. We both went with the dessert. I had a lemongrass jelly, and my wife had a double boiled pear. And some of the dishes we had were sweet and sour chicken, a chili chicken, some broccoli and mushrooms, a beef noodle, some kind of like toasted bao buns to start. I think that's about everything. I might be missing. I'll drop the pictures below. Highly recommend going here. Like I said earlier, Michelin rated Chinese restaurant, top floor of the Suria Mall here in KL. All right, brand new day here in Kuala Lumpur. So we decided to head out early and check out the Perdana Botanical Gardens. Quite a bit away from KLCC, but definitely worth the drive. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. So we're gonna take a spin around and check out these gardens. It's absolutely free to enter too. It's more of like a public park. Super nice so far, and we've only been in here about 5 minutes. All right, so pretty massive park. We've already been through a little section of it, seen the amphitheater, and now we're heading up to the hibiscus area. It's a whole kind of separate park away from the rest of the main botanical garden. So we'll go see what that's all about. Yeah, this is a super nice area, this hibiscus section. Highly recommend not missing this area. They have this kind of some buildings, some monuments, a whole bunch of plaques, of course, tons of hibiscus, and there's some fountains around. It's really, really beautiful, really well done. It's kind of a little ways, about, I don't know, probably 10 minutes out from the main park, depending where you're at in the park. So not overall too bad of a walk, but absolutely stunning once you're up here. Check out some of this scenery. And if you're looking for a more in-depth video on the Perdana Botanical Gardens, there will be a full video on the gardens coming up shortly on the channel. So this park is absolutely massive. If you're coming here, give yourself at least 2, if not 3 hours to do everything. We're not actually going to go around the entirety of the lake. We're going to head back. It's just way too massive. And we've already been here for 2 hours so far, and there's still lots more to see. So we're not going to walk the entire thing, but it is an epic park. It's huge. All right, guys, that was the last little stop there in that little mini garden. Now we're basically back at the main gate. We're going to head back into KLCC, go grab some lunch in an air-conditioned mall, probably Avenue K, and we'll see you later on. So if you're staying up in KLCC or you're just visiting the Petronas Towers, you should check out the mall behind me, which is the Suria Mall, which is attached to the towers. Absolutely fantastic place, and it's more than just a mall. They have a discovery center, some amusements for the kids, a theater, a massive food court, and not like the food courts back in North America where it's all fried kind of junk. They are cooking from scratch, all kinds of cuisines from all over Asia. It's delicious. I've eaten there many, many times. And if you're looking for some Western food, they do have some of that in there. There is a Subway, a McDonald's on the main floor. If you got to check that out, it's actually not too bad. Much better than the ones back home. And they have a place called Fuel Shack, which is kind of Malaysia's answer to Shake Shack, only I think it's better actually. It's pretty phenomenal, and they use Australian beef. Definitely check that out if you're in the mood for a burger. They also have some sit-down restaurants. They have a Michelin rated restaurant, which I visited earlier in the video, and lots of restaurants down in the main floor overlooking the pond. Tons of shops in here. They have a pharmacy, 2 supermarkets, which are phenomenal. They have the big Japanese department store, Isetan or Setan. It's probably like 4 or 5 levels. Amazing store. And the supermarket in the bottom floor, out of this world. And then of course they have the high-end shops, Gucci, Fendi, Ferragamo. They also have some more run-of-the-mill shops like Under Armour, Columbia, Skechers, stuff like that, Puma. So there is a lot in here. We are in here kind of all the time, either for a nice dinner or just a quick bite or breakfast. All kinds of coffee shops. They have Kenny Hill's coffee, coffee bean and tea leaf, like literally so much in here. It's just packed. So I highly recommend coming to check it out. Right now it's currently Ramadan, which is a fantastic time to visit Malaysia. Lots of events going on. There's all kinds of Ramadan buffets, Ramadan bazaars. Of course, you can see some of the decorations here behind me. The inside of the mall, they have a big, huge thing in the center court where they do performances and they're selling goods. Really fascinating time to visit Malaysia during Ramadan. So if you're up in the KLCC area or just in Kuala Lumpur in general, check out the Suria Mall. You will not be disappointed. And of course it has the beautiful KLCC park right out the back door, which is 50 acres. It has a kids playground, a giant pool. There's a light show at night, which you've seen earlier in the video. So much to do here. You really can't miss the Suria Mall. Absolutely phenomenal place. All right, so we made it down to Jalan Alor Street, where all the food stalls and restaurants are. We're at our first stop, and we have a ginger spring onion chicken and a cucumber, I think black vinegar or black garlic salad. Should be phenomenal. It's starting to get busy down here, and it's only early. All right, that was absolutely phenomenal. The ginger spring onion chicken just hit the spot, phenomenal. And then a spicy smashed cucumber salad. Dynamite. Highly recommend this spot. I'll leave the name below, and we're gonna move on to maybe some stalls or another place. We'll see what's going on. So if you're heading down to Bukit Bintang from KLCC, the best way to get here is to take the tunnel system from the Suria Mall all the way through the convention center and over to the pavilion, and then you only have maybe a 5-minute walk from the pavilion outside to get over to the street. Super simple. Anyways, let's go get some more food. All right, so we stopped at a little stall, got some spicy, I believe it's papaya and some other fruit in it. We'll give her a whirl here. Check this out. Lots of juice in the bottom. We'll give her a try and see how hot it is. Only 5 ringgit for this entire cup of fruit. Not sure what these are. I think these are papaya. Dynamite. Absolutely delicious. Try this while you're here. All right, so now we are up at the Grand Sky restaurant, still on Jalan Alor Street. We went with a chicken and beef saute set and some spring rolls, and I grabbed a tiger beer. It's 38 going on 39 degrees out today, so we're trying to stay out of the sun. So I don't know how many of the food stalls we're gonna hit, but we're definitely liking the inside of these restaurants, and they have fans going. So those spring rolls were absolutely dynamite, and the satay is amazing just by itself, and then when you put that satay peanut sauce with it, super good. So much different from the stuff you get back in North America. It's really sweet and stuff. This Malaysian peanut sauce, very savory, not much heat in it, but absolutely delicious. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Highly recommend coming here. This is the Grand Sky restaurant. Super nice service too. The guy is the hostess there, amazing guy, pretty funny. So anyways, really delicious meal. All right, so I think we have eaten enough, but I would highly recommend coming down to this Jalan Alor Street, and especially come in the evening. All the stalls are open now. Tons of different food, from octopus to sugar cane to lamb chops, you name it, it's all here. We like the restaurants, of course, because we're a little bit older and it is hot out, so we had to get out of that sun. But if you don't mind the heat, there is so many stalls, but you're basically eating on the street. So anyways, we're gonna head her back. That's enough for us, but thoroughly enjoyed it. You gotta come here if you're in Kuala Lumpur. So today we're taking an easy day. We're down at the TRX Exchange. I think it's one of the newer malls and huge. So we're gonna take a spin through here, do some shopping, do some eating, grab a coffee, and I believe there's a park maybe up on the roof. Anyways, we're gonna check her out. Looks like a beautiful place. So now I am up on the roof of the TRX Exchange, and it's like a giant outdoor park. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a huge kids playground. They have so many restaurants inside. It's phenomenal. They have like premium high-end stuff, some normal sit-down restaurants, a food court, literally something for everyone in there. Everything from burgers to Chinese, Japanese, Malay, Thai, noodles, soups. Oh my god, it's so amazing. We had a fantastic meal at the Nan Yang Cafe. That was phenomenal. It was like Chinese food with we had like a fried pork chop, curry, rice, dynamite, and I had a chicken exo soup, and my wife went with a fried pork chop and noodles. Phenomenal. There's so much selection here, it's hard to really choose, but this is really impressive up here. The Apple store is like 2 or 3 levels. They have just about every brand in this mall you could possibly imagine. It's so well done. It's absolutely beautiful. The entire mall is gorgeous. Definitely, if you want to do a day of shopping, TRX, I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, this is pretty impressive. It's actually huge up here. It keeps going and going and going. There's so many gardens and little ponds, places to hang out. Beautifully done. They even have all the plants labeled up here. It's like a little mini botanical garden. Really, really impressive. This is the Apple store, the top of it anyways. And there's restaurants all along here, multiple entrances and exits. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so quite the rooftop garden. Multiple different gardens, plazas. They have like Harmony Plaza, Serenity Garden. They have a little pond. Lots and lots up here. I didn't film the kids play area because, well, there's kids that are playing, so I didn't want to disturb them, but I'll leave some shots of the rest of it. Absolutely amazing. I'll also put some shots of the mall in there. I would highly put this on your list if you're here in Kuala Lumpur and you want a nice, relaxing shopping day. It's one of the most beautiful malls I've been in anywhere in the world. You gotta come check out TRX Exchange. All right, so we were walking by the convention center through the tunnels last night on the way to Bukit Bintang, and we found a Kenny Rogers roaster down here in the tunnel system. And I said, man, I haven't been to a Kenny Rogers since like the 1990s in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada, where I grew up. So I said, we gotta go have some rotisserie chicken. So we just went in, grabbed a couple rotisserie chicken meals. It was actually pretty good, and I haven't seen one, like I said, since the 90s. So if you're looking for a little taste of nostalgia, check out Kenny Rogers here over at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Center in the tunnels. All right, good morning. So we're over at the KL Eco Park kind of forest preserve. We're going to do a canopy walk and check that out. I'm not sure what else is here. After that, we're going to go check out the Merdeka KL Tower. So that should be pretty cool up on the observation deck. So you go through the canopy just like this on these kind of suspension bridges. Kind of cool, actually. There's a nice shot of Merdeka 118, the tallest building in Malaysia. All right, so we got to the end of the canopy walk, and then you just come down onto the trails. And when you're at either the end of the canopy walk or the starting, depends if you do the trails first, there's a little canteen and stuff there. You can grab a water and a snack. But we're gonna make our way back. It's not super long, but it's also not super expensive. It was 80 ringgit for 2 adult tickets, so not bad, under $30 Canadian. So if you do the canopy first, the trail is completely uphill on the way back to the main gate. So maybe do the trail first and take the canopy back, the opposite of what we did. So apparently they even have some trails you can go on down there. I'm not going to do that with the advisory at the front gate about the dangerous species, so I'm going to stick to the cement trails. All right, so we are back at the main gate. Not super long. You can do it in, well, if you went super fast, you could probably do it in 10-15 minutes. We went a bit slower than that, took quite a few pictures, but yeah, not too long. So there's some more trails down this way if you choose to do some more. It's pretty humid though, and we're going to do the KL Tower, so we're not going to do the rest of the trails, but the canopy walk was pretty fun. So anyways, we're gonna head her up to the tower now. And one more thing before we head up to the Merdeka Tower, the Eco Park walk there, that can close at any minute when it rains, so maybe check the forecast before coming down. I'll tell you, the humidity is something here. It's almost like walking through water. You're just almost instantly soaked again after you leave your hotel. Especially being from North America originally, it's hot and humid. It's something. We're having an amazing time, but man alive, it is, you're always just sweating here. All right, so we're up on the skybox level. Pretty epic views. You can see the Petronas towers in behind me. It's a bit hazy. It's only about 10 o'clock in the morning right now, but well worth it actually coming up. So your ticket includes like 2 different levels, and it was about $70 in total for 2 adults, $70 Canadian. So it was about 220 ringgit. So actually not too bad. They also have some other stuff you can add on. They have a restaurant. They have the, you can walk out over and look straight down. I'm not doing that because I'm terrified of heights, but pretty cool. All right, so we're on our second stop. This is the observation deck, enclosed and air conditioned, which is nice. The views are pretty much just as good, I guess. The only difference is you can't do the skybox where you'll walk out over the ground and look straight down. But yeah, quite nice in here. Lots of benches, places to sit, stuff like that, and the views are great. So they also have some information on the glass of some prominent landmarks throughout the city, and then they also have some binoculars which are completely free to use. Check this out, guys. This sign says base jump landing area. It's right below me. I'll show you in a second. But it says they jump from a crane at a height of 312 meters. And there is the landing zone in that circle down there. All right, so my cab came quicker than I expected over at the KL Tower. Now I'm over at the mall. Anyways, I just wanted to give my final thoughts. So overall, not too bad, but if you could compare the KL Tower to the Petronas Towers, the Petronas Towers are actually a few dollars cheaper, and it's probably a better experience. But if you love doing tourist stuff, and I don't mind being a tourist, I love to do tourist stuff and non-tourist stuff, it's actually not a bad time for the 70 bucks. And if you compare it to other cities around the world, say Toronto, Canada, the CN Tower, I think it's $56 a person, so it'll be $112. This cost us I think under 70 Canadian to go up, so not a bad value if you compare it to global prices. But the Petronas, if you're only going to do one, do the Petronas. But if you have time like me, I'm here for a while, and you don't mind doing touristy things, then definitely do the KL Tower. All right, guys, so for dinner, we just walked over from our hotel to the Tapak urban, basically food truck dining area. And we're going to take a spin around, try a few items, check her out, and see how it is. All right, so our first stop was the drink stand, and we got the crowd favorite, the Aloha. It's like a peppermint soda with a bunch of other stuff in it. Pretty solid offering. And then we went to Pit Boys Smoking Good Barbecue, of all things, and we got brisket, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw. And we're about to tuck into that, and then we'll probably grab another item before we head out. This does open at 5. We're here at 6. And I'd say about 70% of the places are open, but there's basically no crowd yet. I'm assuming they come much later. All right, if you come to this food truck park, definitely try the Pit Boys barbecue. That is some of the best. It's almost like Texas style brisket. Absolutely delicious. Great flavors. The mashed potatoes that come with it are solid, amazing gravy. I'm really actually impressed. I didn't think Malaysian barbecue would be this good. It's solid. All right, so next we got some nachos coming. Of course, we got some beef nachos coming, and I grabbed a fresh coconut for only 10 ringgit. You can't beat that. And I think the nachos were like 20 ringgit, so just over $6 Canadian. It's a pretty cool spot. It's starting to fill up now as we get closer to sundown. All right, so we just finished up at the food truck park. If you don't know what to eat, it's a great place to go. We loved all the stuff we had, the nachos, the beverage, and the barbecue. There's so much in here. There's Malaysian food, Thai food, you name it, just about everything. So if you don't know what you want to eat, this is a great place to come. So we just popped back over and had to grab a little ice cream at one of the stands. And yeah, I think we're gonna head her home now. It's surely filled up now that the sun is down. So awesome little place, and almost every one of the stalls is open now. But yeah, awesome little place, highly recommend it. All right, good morning. Next day in Kuala Lumpur. We're heading down to Merdeka Square, and currently we're out front of St. Mary's Cathedral. We'll take a quick pop into the visitor center, and then we will head over to Merdeka Square. All right, so we made it over to Merdeka Square. This place is famous for Malaysia's independence, where the Union Jack was dropped in 1957 and the Malaysian flag was raised. And behind me is the tallest flagpole in the world, I believe, 95 meters, and that's the Malaysian flag, of course, up there. So we're gonna have a spin around, check out some of the beautiful buildings. There's a mix of colonial, and there's like an old Moorish mosque. We're gonna go check that out, and also the River of Life, and see what else we can find just down in this general area. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm excited to get exploring it. It's pretty cool down here, so we'll have a spin around and check her all out. All right, we're just down at the base of the flagpole, and in behind is the library and also a gallery over here. Beautiful spot, really nice plants and flowers. They have like a little garden festival going on out in the main lawn there in the actual square. Really nice. Unfortunately, all these buildings over here that I wanted to check out are all under construction, the entire length of it. So I don't know if you can regularly get in there, but we're definitely not getting in there in this video. But gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous buildings. So an amazing place to come and check out if you just want to wander around. Now we're going to go find the River of Life and the mosque, and look for a drink, maybe get a nice coffee or an iced coffee or something. But yeah, beautiful area. You can hear the bell going off in the background. Yeah, it's really nice down here. All right, so we made it over to the River of Life. Absolutely beautiful. You can see they have steam coming out. If you come here in the evening around 9 o'clock, this whole river becomes a light show. I believe it goes cobalt blue. Unfortunately, I won't be attending it, but if you're down this region in the nighttime, it looks spectacular from what I've seen on YouTube. And right across the river here is the National Mosque. Absolutely beautiful Moorish architecture, which apparently is quite rare in this part of the world. You see a lot of it in Spain, of course. They have some nice fountains out front, absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to go over and attempt to go in. I'm just going to look at it from afar. And then, of course, off to the side here, some old colonial buildings. And this is the building that was back on the square that's still under construction. This should be amazing once it's all done. But yeah, what a beautiful area of town. And then, of course, if you look straight up, you can see the Manera KL Tower, and way off in the distance is the Petronas Towers. What a beautiful spot. All right, I'm gonna try to do this on the GoPro. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up. Look at the giant spider right, if you follow my finger, it's right there. Hopefully its brothers aren't anywhere near. If not, I'm gonna switch to my phone and zoom in. That thing is massive. All right, so after we left the River of Life, we took a short walk down to the Central Market, which we were here before in the video, grabbed a little drink and did a little shopping. Now we're gonna grab some lunch over in Chinatown. It's literally maybe a 5-minute walk back from where we were this morning. So yeah, we're gonna grab a little lunch and then we'll probably head her back for siesta. So we just had a fantastic lunch at Warong Chinese here in Chinatown. Started off with a pomelo salad, chef recommended, absolutely delicious, never had anything like it. Then I had a beef rendang, my wife had a Thai chili mince. I went with a sour plum juice. The entire meal was delicious from start to finish. Highly recommend checking this place in. It's about a 4-minute walk from the Central Market, or maybe 2 or 3 minutes from Petaling Street. Fantastic place. All right, so we're nearing the end of the trip. So today we just went down to the Pavilion Mall. I'm not going to include that in the video. Absolutely beautiful though, if you're looking for a shopping destination. You really can't go wrong here in Kuala Lumpur. All the malls are amazing. But we decided to come down to Damascus, the famous shawarma shop. It's actually 4 levels here behind me. I'll show you a shot of the rotisserie meat. Looks delicious. We went with a beef and a chicken. We wanted to dine in. I WhatsApped them last night. They said it was open at 1 o'clock, but now they're saying only dine in at nighttime, and we're here at 1. So we got some takeaway. Anyways, it's supposed to be some of the best shawarma anywhere in Malaysia. So we're gonna give it a go. I love a good shawarma, and yeah. We'll give her a go and I'll let you know how it is. It looks absolutely amazing though. And it is super busy just for the takeaway. All right, so this is the beef shawarma. I got it spicy, and there's nowhere to sit and there's no parks around, so I'm just gonna stand up right outside the restaurant and tuck into this. So I'll tell you, it's actually pretty good. I tried the beef one, but as a tourist staying in KLCC, I would suggest maybe coming when it's open at nighttime. Don't do the takeaway. There's no parks or nothing around, so really hard to eat it standing up, and it's a bit messy, but definitely a fire shawarma. I will give them that. It is delicious, but maybe if you're staying down here in Bukit Bintang, then bring it back to your hotel, because standing on the street with a messy shawarma is not really ideal, but highly recommend it. It is delicious. So good morning. This is one of my last mornings here in Kuala Lumpur, so I figured I'd go and check out a pretty famous place here for breakfast, or maybe not famous, but it's extremely popular. It's packed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's over in the Suria Mall, and it's called Oriental Kopi. It originates from China. The menu is basically Chinese and some Malay dishes. They do have that famous kaya toast and the peanut butter toast, which I actually tried the other day at Bungus Kaka, which was phenomenal. That's like a local spot here. Definitely delicious. So anyways, we're gonna head into the Suria Mall, and I don't know if I'm saying that properly. When I first started the video, I was calling it Suria Mall, and a local told me, no, it's Suria Mall. And then so I've been calling it Suria Mall. I jumped in a cab the other day and said, take me to the Suria Mall if you could, and he said it's Suria Mall. So Suria, I'm not too sure on the pronunciation, but I'm pretty sure this breakfast is gonna be phenomenal. So let's head up to the 4th floor and check out Oriental Kopi. All right, so I just got out of breakfast. Actually amazing. I would highly recommend trying out Oriental Kopi. The coffee itself, very unique flavor to it, delicious. And I also went with an 8 treasure tea, which you steep right at the table. That was phenomenal. And of course, I'm kind of a sucker for that kaya toast and butter, so I went with that. And then I also had a polo bun with butter, and the butter is just super amazing too. It's absolutely delicious. Then it came with a little condensed milk that you just pour into the bun. Phenomenal. A little sweet, but for like a one-off, absolutely delicious. And the peanut butter toast is completely not what peanut butter toast is back in North America. This is almost like a perfectly toasted piece of bread. Hard to describe. It's so light but toasted, delicious. And then they put peanut butter on it like Canadians put maple syrup on pancakes. It's just drowned with peanut butter. So it's like a fork and knife toast. Absolutely delicious. Would highly recommend it if you're at any of their locations. This one's at the mall behind me, and I liked it so much I actually bought some of the kaya jam and the peanut butter to bring home back to Canada. They have like a little shop, and they also sell like some chicken seasoning and curry and stuff like that. But phenomenal place. All in with the jam and the peanut butter, it was only 78 ringgit, and that's for the tea, the coffee, and the 3 breakfast dishes and the takeaway stuff. So phenomenal deal and absolutely delicious. You can go more of a traditional Malay or Chinese, and you can get like noodles and rice and all that stuff. I kind of went with the sweet stuff, but wow, absolutely phenomenal. You got to check her out at least once while you're here in KLCC. All right, so I'm down to my last 2 days here in Kuala Lumpur, and boy, did this trip blow me away. Absolutely amazed with the city. My first time into Southeast Asia. Had been to Southwest Asia before, but never into Southeast Asia, and absolutely love it here. There's a lot going on. So I'll start with the food. This place is amazing. As you might know, the population is made up of Malay, Chinese, and Indian. Those are like the big 3. Of course, there's all kinds of other nations and ethnicities here, but those are the big 3. So the food scene is out of this world. They have, I think, 74 Michelin star restaurants in the city. So you cannot go wrong. And I've eaten everything from street food at stalls to food trucks to food courts to Michelin star restaurants while I've been here, and I was not disappointed. Didn't have one dish that I did not like, and I tried all kinds of new stuff that I never even had before. So if you're a foodie, this is definitely the place for you. Just going into one of the malls, the options, they will have so many good restaurants, sit-down restaurants, and even in the food court, they're cooking food from scratch, fresh. It's amazing. I know that might sound weird coming from North America, but why would you go to the mall to eat? Go to the mall to eat here. Like the Pavilion, Suria, TRX, you will not be disappointed eating in a mall in Kuala Lumpur. So the next thing I want to talk about is the cultural aspect here. Culture and history. So if you love to do cultural stuff, go to temples, the Batu Caves, there is a lot going on here. Multiple religions here, of course. So you can really take a deep dive into a lot of the different cultures in and around Kuala Lumpur and Southeast Asia for that matter. So definitely check out Chinatown, the National Mosque, of course, the River of Life, the Batu Caves, it's endless. And if you're into history, which a lot of us are, there is no shortage of history. Of course, it was the British were here for a while, and it used to be a tin mine, and the Japanese were here in World War II. There is a lot of history here. So if you're a history buff, this is a great city for you also. And then we'll get into the touristy stuff, and that did not disappoint either. There is a lot going on here. There's aquariums, which I didn't make it to. I didn't make it to the zoo either, but I did go up a lot of the towers and knocked off a lot of the tourist options here, and boy, they are fabulous. You can't miss the Petronas towers. Absolutely amazing. So anyways, you got to come and just be a tourist too while you're here. I was here for 16 days, absolutely loved it. I could stay another 2 weeks easily. There's so much going on. The only thing that really got to me was that I'm just not used to the constant high humidity, and the temperatures were between 30 and 38 every day. Of course, the day I went to Jalan street food market, it was like 38, 39 degrees, but whatever. You can manage it. But yeah, absolutely amazing city. I would highly recommend it to anyone. It is one of the leading emerging tourist destinations in the world, and of course in Southeast Asia. So I would highly recommend visiting. Can't say enough good stuff about it. And one other point before I go, in regards to food, I will leave a list of all the restaurants, cafes, food trucks, food stalls that I visited in Kuala Lumpur. I'll leave that all in the description, and I'll leave a little note beside them saying if it's good for breakfast, coffee, you know, just dessert, lunch, dinner, whatever, if it's Michelin. So check that out if you're a foodie. That might help you. There's so many videos online also, but they kind of all seem to go to the same places. I kind of went to different places. And if I'll leave one more tip here. If you're looking for a coffee experience, I cannot say much more about Bacha coffee here in the mall behind me, the Suria Mall. Definitely go there. I've gone twice already, plan on going a third time tomorrow before I fly out. It is such a coffee experience. I've never had coffee like it. It's amazing. It's like white glove, white tablecloth, beautiful chantilly whipped cream. You pay a little bit for it, but it is so worth it. I've never had a coffee experience like it. Anyways, as you could probably tell, I'm a huge fan of Kuala Lumpur. We'll be back someday, definitely. I just loved it that much. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'll wrap the video up here. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.